You know, you can go to jail for spreading fake news on social media.
Sometimes it's just disinformation. What shut up no ye.
And it will shock you to know that media houses now are even relying on bloggers for content.
If you are a young blogger in this country and you put out negative news, fake news, biased news, news that has been bought and it's not credible or fact-checked, you are as bad as somebody doing galamsey.
But this if it's not good, it's not good. Because I think of consumers too, and I'm a consumer myself, so if it's not good, it's not good.
You know, you can go to jail for spreading fake news on social media. I hope I didn't scare you. Hi, welcome. This is Penplusbytes, MIL Knowledge Hub podcast. And whenever I take my seat, it means another insightful conversation is about to unfold. I'm Manuel, and as always, thank you for tuning in. This is Penplusbytes, MIL Knowledge Hub. And let me say thank you to DW Akademie and the German Corporation for their continuous support. On this episode, we want to get into the minds of Ghanaian bloggers and how they are shaping our information ecosystem. But before we have that discussion, let's take a quick breather and dive deep into it. In Ghana, sometimes it appears there are no laws addressing misinformation, disinformation, but there are actually provisions in the Electronic Communications Act and the Cybersecurity Act, and also the Criminal Offences Act frowns on initiating or spreading fake news on social media. In recent times, individuals like Adenta Kumi, MPP activist, was picked up by the BNI for spreading fake news on his X account. Just last year, a blogger was jailed 30 days for spreading fake news on his portal. We can't talk about misinformation, disinformation without the influence or the activities of Ghanaian bloggers. And so it's important we have a conversation with them. Yes, we appreciate the work that they are doing, bringing us up to speed on various developments happening across the country. But to a very large extent, they are part of the problem. And so as I said earlier on, we are diving deep into their minds. We want to understand the work they do, how they do it, and collectively how we can arm ourselves against information disorder. And so once again, welcome to my podcast, your podcast, MIL Knowledge Hub podcast. Let the conversation begin. I'm already excited about this episode because of the kind of guests I have in here. Two amazing gentlemen. I mean, they are fine. You can't doubt that. One is a blogger and one is a media and information literate advocate. Gentlemen, you are welcome to my show.
Manuel, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Blogger nie.
How has life been generally?
Life has been good. We just living. We're just living and doing what we have to do each day. I mean, we just
searching for coins. You pesca. Kroma is shit. Interestingly, Ghana is colder now. Actually, there's fire in our pockets.
Yeah.
So we need more coins.
Certainly.
Our topic. Misinformation, disinformation. Do Ghanaian bloggers even care?
Ask him. He's the blogger. Ask
you are
him.
a blogger.
Does he care?
Blogger in Cape.
Yeah,
do you even care about us?
I care. I can't speak for everyone, but with myself and my other colleague bloggers, we care. I started off as a celebrity, a lifestyle blogger, so of course I report or write stories on celebrities in general and lifestyle stories. So of course we care. To the larger extent, just like you said in your intro, the whole space has evolved now, and everybody is getting into that particular space. So of course you're going to get a lot of them doing the stuff that go against the ethics of the whole job. So yeah. For me and my colleagues, when I say my colleagues, I mean the people I'm close to and the people I work with directly, we are very particular about the stuff we put out, and we make sure to follow all the ethics of journalism. So we know we are doing it right.
Okay.
So yeah.
Let me speak to Efo. You are a media and information literacy advocate. When you sit back and you see all the fake news flying around, how do you feel about
It's nauseating. That's the first thing. It's nauseating. But beyond that, it's also scary. Because, our society thrives on information.
Yeah.
And as it stands, because of the internet and social media and Web 2.0, now we're even in Web 3.0. And because of Web 2.0, we've had the opportunity for bloggers to also come up and put out information. The difference is that they are not very conscious of what kind of information they are putting out. They are more interested in what trends, what to pull the numbers. I mean, when we teach MIL, we always say for now, currency is in eyeballs and earlobes. So who is listening? How many are they? Who is watching or reading? How many are they? That's the consideration that bloggers have. Initially, when journalists put stories out, there used to be consideration of proximity, prominence, and all those news values.
Yeah.
Now, there are no news values. In fact, it's so bad now that you see regular media houses, like the big media houses, when they put out their news, it looks no different from what the bloggers do.
Interesting.
It means that blogging is getting the eyeballs and the earlobes and giving the check. So even, for instance, you see a news media house, maybe a TV station, put out a flyer with a news headline.
Yeah.
And the headline reads, such MP from this political party says that the new government is telling lies. Okay, so that's the news. That's the whole news. Oh, there's no story on their website. The whole news is a flyer. There's nothing to click.
Usually comes like a picture quote.
Yes. So you see the picture of the said person, and then you see the small quote under it, and that is the entire news. That's the entire story. And that is something that is borrowed from bloggers. So for me, when I sit back and I look at it, I look at the misinformation, I look at sometimes it's just disinformation. The person is intentionally cooking a story. To try to put it out to make, just to get people to read. And so for me it's become very worrying and very scary.
Very worrying and very scary. Do you intentionally cook the stories?
Blogger
the spices where you
when blogger is cooking.
Well, with the cooking, usually they tend to set an agenda. Okay. Some of them don't actually give out the fake stories. Some use the stories and couch it in a way that is going to send a particular narrative. So immediately you get to read it or you get to see it, you've already conceived like a certain perception in your head even before you read it. You understand? So the agenda setting there, it's one conversation on its own. And with misinformation, these bloggers are actually spoiling the work.
Which are the bloggers?
I don't have to mention them, but yeah.
So you see, he went to a journalism school. He got training from a journalism school. So I think when he says these bloggers, he should tell us the category of bloggers he's talking about.
Yes. So they are spoiling the whole work, or let me say, ruin the whole reputation of bloggers. So right now, the kind of regard or respect that people have for bloggers has, gone down. Just because of the way a lot of these guys are doing it. And just like Efo said, they are always about the trends. They are always about the numbers. And I know why they do those things, because trust me, immediately you build those numbers, brands will come for you. Aside from the money that you're making from traffic, for the guys who do websites,
Google AdSense and stuff.
They tend to get the numbers, which in turn translates into money. Aside from the websites, right? Those who do the Instagram blogging, those who are on TikTok and the rest. Trust me, when they get those numbers, that's when brands come for them. And per some brands, they don't even look at what they align with. I mean, their objective. So far
It's
as
all
you're
about
going to get them
eyeballs.
the eyeballs,
Yeah.
they are good at working with you.
Yeah.
You understand? So if that's what's going to bring them the money, sure, that's just it for them and the numbers. They will just go in for those things. So yeah, it's worrying actually. It's worrying.
Just a quick follow-up. So is that to say that blogging here in Ghana or bloggers in Ghana have thrown away the ethics of the whole journalism thing?
A lot of them,
Kind of correct.
a lot of them have actually thrown away all these ethics
Ethics.
and all of that because just like I was saying,
Yeah.
trust me, a lot of the bloggers who actually do credible news or follow the ethics don't really amass the huge numbers.
Okay.
You understand? No, the back be film.
Yeah.
Aha, you get it. So no, the back be film, and they know the kind of stories that are going to get them the numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, they know the kind of stories. So if they know, say, this kind of story is going to get me a lot of engagement, a lot of traction, of course, they will keep putting in those ones. And you see, I don't really blame them. It's the audience I tend to blame because if you put out the good stories or the positive stories, they don't really engage.
But that's where I disagree with you.
Okay.
Because you see, when you audience consume what they get, and media is supposed to be the mirror of society.
Exactly.
So we don't only show what is in society, we also show what society should be. So you see, if I read and what I read is good everywhere, I will not be asking for, when you are bringing up a child doesn't ask for what they have not seen or tasted before.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
So, and the audience or the public are sort of like that. And I'm not saying they are children, but I'm saying the media has this power to train or to nurture audience taste. So if you throw in a misinformation today and audiences follow it, and tomorrow you stop. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
One of Ghana's biggest microbloggers, he is Ghana's largest Twitter, everything. He has the largest following on X.
Influencer.
And I'm sure we all know who
Yeah.
I'm talking about without
Yeah.
mentioning names.
Yeah.
When he started,
Okay.
he started putting out very, very bad stuff. All the way from fake news to nudity, call it whatever. He built a following based on that. Right? And then he got to the point where he stopped. When he stopped and he started putting out proper information,
Yeah.
or sometimes just funny information, the following didn't stop. And in fact, the following has grown higher or far better than when he used to put out all those bad information. I meet bloggers who tell me that, Charlie, when you are starting, you have to start with the fake. You have to start with the things that sometimes they don't, like he said, they don't even think about it as fake. And most of the time, it's not even fake. It's not a lie. It's just we're cooking it some way. You say, or the garnishing be account. So as it goes out, as a normal human, when you see it, you are interested. For instance, if I sit here right now and you tell me the Pope has been arrested for rape, hey, I'm a Catholic. That works on my emotions. You see? And so as a Catholic, I'll be emotional about that story. I will not even be interested in the fact. I'm only interested in reading. I'll click. And when I click and I last on the website for 3 seconds, on Wanya Nisika, after 3 seconds, because Google AdSense will measure how long the person stays on the page, right? So if you stay 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, all of those will accrue different rates for the person.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So for instance, on YouTube, the person just wants you to watch the first 5 seconds. Which the first 5 seconds are when you're in AdSense, when you're in YouTube P, it's on you.
Yeah.
Whether you watch the full thing to realize the truth later or not. So I strongly believe that they have this idea of, let me start with the bad stuff to accrue the following. But if bloggers would be more interested in putting out good stuff, audience will consume what we put out. There was a time where the only thing we were watching was a Fiora.
That's true.
There was a time.
Exactly. So with what I was saying, just like you said, they tend to build their following on the negative ones because they tell me, okay, I've never been that kind of blogger and I'll never be.
Yeah.
Okay. They tell me that, Charlie, negativity sells. Okay.
Bad
negativity
news
sells.
sells.
Bad news sells.
If it bleeds, it leads.
So, just like you said, it's not supposed to be something fake. So far as it's negative, people are going to dwell on it. And if it's going to get them the numbers, of course they're going to do it. Just like you were saying, they will build the numbers with the negative news, some few fake stories and all of that. I mean, they'll throw that in there just to build a following. When they mature in that particular space, then they tend to be responsible now in their reportage and all of that. So usually you can't really blame them because he's now starting out.
Oh, we can blame them.
If you say we can't blame them, I have a problem with you.
Okay, so maybe I'm not saying it right, but all I'm trying to say is they know what they want to get. So if this is what is going to get them this or this kind of results, of course they're going to do it without caring about what is going to result in. So even though you can blame them, I mean, everybody for chop. So that's the way they think.
Okay.
I'm not even saying that.
Maybe society too, we should advise ourselves as to who we go to or who we follow.
But it's difficult. You see, we make it look like it's simple for any. Look, there are theories, right?
Yeah.
We know about agenda setting. He's mentioned agenda setting. There is this intent on selecting what will get the eyeballs and the ear loops. So there is that aspect. But there is also cultivation. Cultivation is what I was referring to. What the media intends and decides to keep showing to the audience, you cultivate the audience with that. All right. But aside from all of that, we assume that the audience automatically has some agency. Yes, they do. Audiences have agency. They have the ability to decide what to watch, what not to watch, what to read, what not to read, and that's true. But that agency can stretch only this far. It's not an agency that lasts long, especially when you live in this age where information is in your face. It is in your. You don't even know what to click on. We have phones, smartphones, platforms that are built on swiping. So you keep swiping.
Yeah.
You keep just moving up or moving from left to right all the time. And there is a never-ending continuity of content. There's no way you will go on Snapchat and you swipe up or swipe to the side and there will not be any content. What I like about LinkedIn, for instance, is LinkedIn has that thing where you keep swiping to a point, it ceases. And you have to refresh.
That's true.
Right? But LinkedIn is for business. So business people, even on LinkedIn, there are issues over there too. So I strongly believe that if bloggers consider themselves media, right? It's like bloggers see themselves as, okay,
now they have new media association comprising of bloggers.
There was even some bloggers association in the past. In fact, when Advanced Media used to do Ghana Bloggers Summit, there was forming at that time some kind of Ghana Bloggers Association, right? From among those people. And like he said, I mean, if you look at the biggest bloggers today who now want to be celebrated, they now want to be public figures, they now want to be celebrated as functioning members of society. If you look at the kinds of things they used to publish in the past, and I don't want to mention names because we don't want to intentionally tarnish anybody's name. But we know them, and when we see them today branching into, some of them actually branch into actual media in terms of actual TV or actual radio work. Some of them are doing that. Some of them are into philanthropy now. Some of them are now using their platforms to do actual journalism, and it's interesting. But what they teach the younger folk who are coming up is that when you start, you must start wrong. He didn't start wrong. I've never seen a bad or negative news from blogger. And he was on campus. We saw him on campus when he started from level 100, when he was putting out content. He always put out proper content, which is why he's able to get some international clients to write for. And he started getting paid in dollars before he left campus as a graduate. So the thing is that if we put stories like Blogger Story out, where you can still get paid, even when you put out good news. That way, the younger bloggers will not be interested in always putting out negative news. I believe stories like bloggers are never told. It looks like, okay, if you're a blogger, the trajectory is simple. Start with fake or negative news. Build a cult following. Build a followership, viewership, listenership, readership. When you build the listenership, now move to doing what looks like journalism, right? Then when you do that for a while, you become a celebrity. So now you drop blogging. Now you're a celebrity. You're now trying to find what to do with your celebrity status. So some people now start
seasoned journalist and things.
now they change their name from blogger to journalist.
Journalist, yeah.
Then they now come and say they have brands.
Yes.
They are protecting and what not.
And now they have letterhead. When they start, there's no letterhead. They just put anything out.
That's so true. Now, my main bloggers, they are doing what they are doing because, of course, they need to eat. They need to cash out.
Yeah.
But now my other concern is society, young people, the youth.
Yeah.
At what point does this end? Or
Mr.
at
Asebo.
what point? Because for the bloggers, of course, we are having this podcast to conscientize them, to bring their minds to it that they have a responsibility towards society.
Yeah.
But the ordinary Ghanaian, that young boy, young girl sitting in somewhere, at what point do they get to realize that no, all of these things I'm consuming on social media are not entirely true?
Okay. So here's one thing. I think that bloggers can be responsible beyond just fact-checking the stories they put out, which is critical.
Very.
Fact-check the story, right? Beyond that, trying to do some original stories. ChatGPT stories not also do. Yeah, that ChatGPT stories are too many. But so try to put some originality in the content you put out, right? There is that. But beyond that, can all bloggers in Ghana, first of all, tag their pages and tag their website, right? If you're a parody, tag it and let the tag be as big as a sponsor's banner. When a sponsor buys a banner or a strip or what do you call it, a footer on your page, it's huge.
Yeah.
It disturbs the entire story. We can't even read stories on bloggers' pages now.
Already there.
Page this one.
Ads.
The ads are more than the stories.
Yeah.
So can we have just a flyer that is your social responsibility as a blogger? Say, maybe the flyer to a page to say, as you read, fact check. Like, I have written the story, but verify before you share.
So you are telling them.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes.
You want the blogger to I'm looking for the right word, but you want the blogger to tell you to fact check the story.
Yes. Because the point is, with the algorithm works very simply. If you last a certain number of seconds on the page, the blogger has got paid already. True or true?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
Like
True.
that.
So by the time I get to a certain part of the page, there should be something to inform me that this story, yes, I'm trying my best to be factual.
Okay.
But before you share, fact check. I don't think it's too much for a blogger to do.
What do you make of this? As a blogger, it means you yourself, you couldn't do due diligence to whatever you are putting out there.
So with what he's saying, it could work, but then again, it questions my own credibility.
Exactly.
Okay, because if I'm putting it out and I'm issuing more like a disclaimer, sort of, then what makes me credible?
But you should, because you're not a journalist. You are a blogger. And there's a difference between a blogger and a journalist. A blogger shares opinion. Journalists have the social responsibility.
If you are looking at the terrain in recent times, it's not just about opinion. They're actually going
right now,
for
the
the
bloggers
hard
are doing
news.
actual
And that
reportage.
is good. You see, so because you are now moving from blogger to do reportage, you have not registered with GJA. You have not gone to GIJ or Unimark or what do you call it?
Any other,
AUC or any other
accredited journalism
to
school,
study
yeah.
journalism, to
Yeah.
understand what is the relationship between media, culture, and society, to understand what is the relationship between news and depression. You have not gone to do all of that, right? So though you are doing hardcore news, it doesn't make you a journalist. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So my thing is that, why do we believe TV3? Why do we believe City? And why do we punish them when they don't check the news and put the false news out? And when you put false news out, where shall we see you and punish you?
And it will shock you to know that media houses now are even relying on bloggers for
content.
It's
It's crazy now.
That's another story.
It's crazy now that actual media houses are now relying on bloggers to get news stories, because it's like they are always on the ground. They are always here and there. They are able to move about. I mean, anytime, anywhere. So they tend to rely on these some of these bloggers for news and even verification and the fact checking. And it's I don't know how to feel about that. But yeah, that's how the whole thing has transitioned, and it's scary now. It's scary now that media houses are even relying on.
You see, on
bloggers
this
too.
issue, if you're a media house and you want to rely on a blogger, get the blogger, give him some 6 months training. We must be a responsible people as a nation.
Are they ready for that training?
You want,
That's
it's not
another
money.
conversation.
Then
to have.
So the bloggers who are ready are the ones who get the job, because obviously, if the media house who is working, if the media house wants to work with you, blogger, they should be willing to pay.
Oh yes,
They may not give you a salary, but they should be willing to pay something for the content they are getting from you. Because ordinarily they should send their reporter to go down there to get that story. If they don't have a reporter able to go at that time, or they don't have the scoop and you have the scoop, everywhere in the world, bloggers sell their scoop.
Yeah.
Right? True. So if a blogger is bringing me scoop, then it is my job to make sure that I have a relationship with that blogger. And that blogger becomes some sort of content creator for the organization, such that either on a retainer basis, on a story-by-story basis, we are paying something. In that vein, it is then behoving of that media house to train the blogger, to give him or her some training. Imagine where you work now. Did they just pluck you from somewhere and planted you where they are?
Oh no.
No.
You have to go through.
You have to go through training. They didn't just pluck you, and you were working at a different media house before they got you. But
and actually, I got so when I started blogging, it was just my own stuff.
Yeah.
I was just doing my own stuff, and having gotten the training I got in GIJ. I mean, GIJ nurtured me to being responsible, being responsible enough, and the first media house I worked in also trained me to be the kind of person I am now before I got into the other media house I'm working in now. So yeah, aside from the training that you get in school, the moment you associate yourself with a media house, then you are putting yourself in the position to be trained or nurtured properly. You get it. So even when you get out of that particular media house, you know you've been trained in a certain way that differentiates you or makes you distinct from any other person. Any other person who is in that particular space. So the affiliations and associations there, like it's very essential. Just like you were saying, it's very essential. It helps. It helps if we can go that way, or like make it a conscious effort that okay, so we want to work with you. We see the kind of blogging you're doing. You are literally everywhere. There are certain places that you can be that our own reporters cannot be at a particular time. Or even if they get there late. So if you know that we can rely on you or for certain reports or certain videos or certain pictures at certain times, of course, you can always partner with them, give them the necessary training, then they can be useful to you.
Right.
Absolutely. You see, and just to touch on that one a little bit, you see, there is a blogger in this country, a YouTuber for that matter, who had not gone through any proper training. He started from a balcony of a certain university. He had not gone through any proper training.
I'm trying to scan.
Be scanning. I'm giving you more attributes so you can scan properly.
Okay.
Yeah, started from a balcony of a certain university, then made it big in the space and put out content, right? Now, that blogger then got an opportunity to be on actual TV as an entertainment show host.
Okay.
One day, 3 weeks. Okay, I'm actually 3 weeks is probably not the amount of, because I didn't follow how long, but it didn't take long enough for him to be sent back, or even if he wasn't sent
from the media house.
If he wasn't sent back from the media house, he left. Either ways, he wasn't able to sustain.
Probably he couldn't even conform to the ethics and the whole.
Exactly. So it goes back into the question you ask: are they willing? And if you are not willing, then we shouldn't be working with you. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
See, let's separate what is journalism, what is content creating, and what is blogging, right? Okay. And understand that I can create content with my phone. That doesn't make me a blogger. The fact that I take videos when I go to restaurants and put on my platform doesn't make me a food blogger. Do you understand what I'm saying? I put out content.
Okay.
Doesn't make me a blogger.
Okay. So you are not a food blogger.
No.
You're a content creator.
I go to restaurant. Whenever I enter a restaurant,
Okay.
I take a video.
Yeah.
But I'm there to eat. A food blogger lives on deciding he or she has a whole roster of restaurants to go to, chefs to visit, foods to taste. A business. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that person doesn't go to a restaurant to eat. The person goes to a restaurant to work. I go to a restaurant to eat. Then I create some content there. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. It's like you go to the stadium for a football match. Then you create some videos from the stadium. You put it out on your socials. People like it.
So
it
that
goes
would be
viral.
a once in a while kind of
Yes,
thing.
you do it when it's available. You are a content person. You create content. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get
But
it.
if you move beyond creating content and you become a blogger, then your responsibilities increase because now you are commercializing that craft.
Yeah.
Commercialization means you are
Getting
benefiting
some-
from
yeah.
it.
Benefiting,
So
yeah.
you see, so now you have to be a bit more responsible. All right. But then again, it is still your opinion. Now, opinion is not then equal to falsity or fake or misinformation or negativity. It's your opinion. You tasted the food, doesn't taste nice. Share that opinion. Right? But don't make it sound as if you are some dietitian or some scientist who knows about nutrition. No, you are not. You taste food.
You're not an authority.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
You get me?
I get you.
So if he writes on entertainment, all right, he writes on music, movies, stuff like that, or lifestyle, he does lifestyle blogging.
Yeah.
He's a blogger. So when he listens to a certain song, he can tell her that I didn't like the song. Okay. He cannot say the song is not good. They're two different languages.
True.
You know, it will take a musician who understands musicology, who understands beat making, who understands merging sounds together to say that the music is not good. And that is why GMA, what do you call it? VGMA or TGMA is there.
Yeah.
That is why Grammy is there. You get me? You can say, "Metie enyumna nyamede." That is your blogging opinion. But a journalist cannot say, I listened to the song and I didn't like it. We don't care what the journalist likes or doesn't like. Do you get me?
I get you.
So the responsibilities are different at
in
different levels.
Okay.
The problem happens when a blogger thinks he or she is a journalist or an authority.
Okay.
You see, and then if it is lifestyle blogging, they begin to think all of a sudden a blogger thinks he or she is a fashion designer. They know everything about fashion. So be shut idea. But
I mean, if you are blogging so much about a particular subject, don't you think with time you become an authority?
Not necessarily.
I agree with you. Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, because there are certain things
I don't think they are just blogging as in blogging per se. They are also learning. They are learning on the job.
Everybody can learn on the job. But are you learning the right things?
Exactly.
Are you
What
doing it right?
learning?
Because you can learn and learn the wrong things.
True.
And do it like wrongly.
You do the wrong thing rightly. You do the wrong thing in the best possible way.
Yeah,
and you will think
that's
you are the
another
best at it.
That's true.
So it's if you are because if you enter a media house, typical media house, you have superiors, people above you, who you learn from along the way. Even if you don't have superiors, you have colleagues who might have worked with a different media house or might have worked longer in the space. Something will teach you. If you are in your own corner somewhere, in your single room self-contained, you have created a corner where you put a backdrop, and that's where you do your content from. Who are you learning from? You're only learning from the mistakes you've been doing. You are only learning to perfect your mistakes. So you are becoming better at doing the wrong thing. So I don't think longevity in the space of, in any other field, it might work. If you're a carpenter and you've been hitting the nail for long, you might become better at hitting the nail.
Yeah.
In the same way, if you're a blogger and you've been putting out negative news for long, you become better at putting out negative news.
True.
You don't become a better blogger or a more responsible blogger. So they need to learn. And that's why we need platforms like yours.
Yeah,
Maybe come up with something that can teach bloggers how to do blogging without becoming journalists, but doing it well.
Right. And I think at Penplusbytes, we've been doing extremely well when it comes to equipping different segments of the Ghanaian population with media and information literacy skills. And one segment, we haven't totally forgotten our bloggers. And so thank you for that submission. Now I want us to look at my concept. Still, I'm coming back to this question. Ordinary Ghanaian, young people, young folks, when they go online, now I want us to equip them, give them some guidelines, cues.
Man, it started. Let him do what I said. The flyer thing on the website. Let him do it live. Man, it started.
So,
how do we even tell that this website is credible enough? And then beyond that, how do I, as an individual, know that what I'm consuming is not true? What I'm consuming is biased. It's not factual.
okay, so this is not something that's easy to identify immediately. Okay, you can't really identify it immediately. Because there are certain stories that you need to immediately you read them in your head, it might be true. Okay, until later on it comes out that it's actually false or something. Then let me just use that Lumba's news as an example.
Yeah,
that's true.
We've reported
in council
that Lumba has died like how many times? Like 2 or 3 times already.
Yeah.
You understand?
So
So when this one came,
me, I didn't believe it.
people were still in doubt until eventually, after some time, the family, or is it the radio
It
station?
took the family
I think they
and
issued
It
their
took
radio
the
stations.
to issue something that yes, indeed, he's dead. So you can't actually identify those things. It takes time. So now, if you realize this particular blog or this particular blogger is fond of publishing fake news, of course, in your head, you're not going to follow anything they put out again. But if say a fake news, maybe it was for some misinformation, something, it wasn't like it was deliberately meant to misinform or disinform the public. So, I mean, those things take time. And as a blogger, you need to, that's why it's always essential for a blogger to always be conscious about what to put out. So from the onset, you don't start building an image of being somebody who puts, but aside from the blogger or whoever is putting out the information, you as a person, you don't rush to digest stuff or information easily, because immediately you do that, just when it comes, you receive it and you digest it. Any other thing that's coming after, you don't really pay attention to it. So as individuals or consumers, we need to be very conscious of that and be following these things. So when you notice certain blogs or certain bloggers keep reporting stuff that are untrue, of course, then you know it's time to drop all those ones and follow the ones that put out, usually or always put out credible or factual news. Yeah.
Sure. Before I come to you, Ifo, let me ask this question. You have been getting it right for a number of years now.
Yeah.
And it's obviously because of the kind of training you've received from GIJ. And of course, if you've attended the Premier Communication University, I don't expect you to deliver anything less.
Only.
Help your bloggers out there. Some bloggers out there. I want you to help them. Like, what has been your roadmap?
So I would always say this: everybody has their own values or beliefs. So some people feel like so far as it's working for them and it's getting them whatever they want, of course they're going to do it, because some people are very convinced now that the whole blogging space is lucrative. Okay, and you can't do that being somebody who always puts out the valid news or the good news or the positive news. You can't always, that's the narrative, and it's time that we rubbish that kind of idea that you can't make it big or you can't make it out being the kind of blogger that puts out credible news and all of that. But it's hard. It's a bigger challenge that you have to deal with because of the whole narrative over the years. The whole narrative it's changing. I mean, gradually it's changing, and we have people venturing in this particular space who are coming up with like credible news, and they are doing the actual blogging in the perspective of a journalist. Okay, because they know they can't be journalists, but they can still do the blogging and still be responsible enough with their approach. So I mean, it's over time it's going to change. It's going to change.
Better. We
it's not something that's going to happen. It's not something that's going to happen immediately, but I mean, with time it's going to change. You can always try to convince, but again, you can't actually tell people what to do. You can only try
guide.
You can only try to guide and try to convince them that this your approach, Charlie. We are trying to change the narrative in the whole blogging space. So if you can do it this way or that way, you can still get here or get there.
Yeah.
Then we're all good.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, if you are a media information literacy advocate, and so I want you to help our audience out there.
I think one of the critical things is this: know that the headline is not the news. So all these flyers with pictures and a headline, that is not the news. There is a news that is only being marketed. So the flyers you see are marketing tools meant to elicit your interest, meant to take advantage of your emotions, right? So know that. And because all the bloggers, okay, not all, most bloggers or a lot of bloggers are doing this, as well as the credible media houses are also doing it, you don't even know the difference anymore. And the colors of the media houses are looking similar. Sometimes you don't even see
red runs
through all the media entities. I mean, so know that the headline is not the news. Again, know that the news as you read it is only one part of the truth. It's not the entire truth. It's only what the reporter, the blogger was able to capture in that moment, or things you deserve to know. So that is two. The other thing is that every time you are reading, look out for the name of the person who put a story out. In fact, even when I read from credible media houses and there is no name and it's admin, I have a problem with the story. There must be somebody. News is an authored text. It means it must have an author. Somebody must own that story. So instead of putting admin, and this is an advice to the bloggers, if you want to be seen as credible, instead of putting admin as the byline, the name of the person who wrote the story, rather put an individual human being's name that we can locate. You get me?
Yeah.
So when you as an audience member or as a reader or as a viewer, you are looking at something, who put that information out? Look for that person. It must have an author. Also look out for sometimes errors. These days it's difficult to find the errors because of ChatGPT and DeepSeek and the rest that can generate story for you. Generative AI is changing the game. Initially, it used to be that because bloggers, unscrupulous bloggers, are in a hurry to put a story out. They type mistakes. You can easily read the grammatical errors and stuff.
Read the lines.
So now what you want to look out for is, if it's an AI generated story, look out for repetitive language. Look out for the use of words that ordinarily, if you are speaking, you wouldn't have used, or if you are reading, you wouldn't have seen. Yes, tapestry.
Long dashes.
So when you see all those long dashes instead of a comma or a semicolon, you know these stories were AI generated. So if it is AI generated, even if it is from a supposedly credible media house, double check. Double check, because the AI can make mistakes that the journalist or whoever put the story out did not take note of.
True.
So for me, even if it is from BBC and it is AI generated, I'm double checking that story. And in the spirit of double checking, always check the story with another media house. If you read something, my policy is if 5 other media houses have not put it out, I don't believe you.
Wow.
We have so many media houses. According to the NCA, we have over 700 registered radio stations. Over 500 of them are operating. We have over 300 TV stations. About 250 of them are operating. There are so many radio stations, TV stations. As for online, uncountable. So if you, a blogger, put out a story and at least 5 other blogs, 5 other media houses have not supported that story, I don't believe you. And 5 is very small. You could even go to 10 if 10 other people don't report it.
Yeah.
Don't believe it. It's a lie. Or it is not a fully fledged story yet. So don't carry it. And like I would always end with, don't be in a hurry to share it. Don't share. Meanwhile, one of the things that I always look out for to believe a story is if I enter a website and the ads are more than the story, I don't believe anything on that page. So bloggers beware. Me, I won't share it. And I'm a researcher and I use content from bloggers or content from online portals to conduct research. But if I go on that site and every 2 sentences or paragraphs there is an ad and I'm trying to decipher where is the ad ending and where is the story, if I'm trying to, I'm leaving the site. I'm not taking anything there as credible, because either the story, whether the story is true or not, you don't consider me, the reader, as important. You are more interested in your advertisers. So what you are doing is biased. You are not putting out information for the sake of me hearing it.
Right. So on this episode, I've introduced some fun game. It's called Guilty or Not Guilty. I'm going to read out some statements to our guests, and I have some cards here. Written on it is guilty and 1 not guilty. And so once I read the statements to you, if you are guilty, you just put your card. Maybe I might come up with some follow-ups. If not, I mean, we are good. And
Please
safe.
ask questions that blogger will be guilty throughout.
So not guilty here.
Okay.
Not guilty there.
Okay.
Guilty.
Media permanent.
So my first statement. Have you ever, the word is ever, secretly known that something is fake, but you went on to share on social media or WhatsApp? Have you ever?
Nah.
Not guilty. Not guilty. That one, dear.
Never.
If I
Are you sure?
guys,
Guys.
if I did it, if I ever did such a thing, I'm sure I was drunk, but I've never taken alcohol, so it's not possible.
No,
Never. Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
Like known, like I knew.
Yeah, you knew.
No.
Okay.
Nah.
So you are a blogger, so maybe more of this question to you. Have you ever pretended to love a product and so you marketed it on your platform, but deep down you know that
Permanently not guilty.
So if I don't align with it,
no,
I am
don't
not
explain
doing
first. Just show. Just show
right.
us.
You go explain. You know.
But this nah. If it's not good, it's not good. Because I think of consumers too, and I'm a consumer myself. So if it's not good, it's not good.
Please let's clarify. Product includes musical.
Music.
It's true. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
For music, I don't need to necessarily like it, because sometimes the production is good, but you're just not feeling the vibe. But it doesn't make it a bad song. You get it, Just like you said earlier, the fact that you don't like it doesn't mean it's a bad song.
Okay. Yeah, but
Okay, my third statement. Have you ever fallen for a job vacancy?
Hey. Did I hear you? Yeah, they hear me.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Bro, Mama who has now became. The Lord is our shepherd.
Okay. It doesn't mean you didn't do any background checks here and there, or like it was too good to be true.
When you are hungry,
To be false, I mean.
when you are hungry, some things you see. No, sometimes you see a job opening. It takes the exact structure that a credible job opening would give you. And sometimes you don't even realize until you send in the application, you're not getting a call back, or after the interview, you realize that these people. In fact, fun fact, when I was a TA, there was a company that came to the school, came to the faculty, spoke to the faculty that they were creating a show and they needed young hosts. So the faculty selected myself and I think 4 others to go and be co-hosts for this show. And this show is supposed to be a health show that will raise funds for putting up some children's hospital somewhere. We actually went into the production. I'm talking about from the dean of the faculty all the way to the last person. We went into production. We did about a whole month of recording, production. before
Wow.
it clicked. I started asking questions. Like, I don't know these people. Where is their office? What's their website? Started asking questions because it came from the faculty head. So there was no way to question it.
Yeah.
So, and we, as I started asking questions, others also started asking questions. We came to realize that these guys are fake.
Wow.
If we had allowed that show to go live, it would have been bad. So yes, I'm very unfortunately guilty of that.
Okay. This will bring us to the end of this segment.
Do one so that he'll be guilty. So I want him to be guiltier than me. He has to be guiltier than me. Please ask him, blogger, have you ever woken up from your bed?
Okay, so he says I should ask you, so I'm going to ask.
Oh, I mean, I wake up. I wake up every day. So yes. Guilty. I wake up every day, so yeah, guilty.
Okay,
So he has two guilty, me one guilty. And to the bloggers, I would always say, if you are a young
that your
blogger,
final words?
yes, that's my final
Okay.
words. If you are a young blogger in this country, and
maybe look into the and speak to them.
yes,
directly. Yeah, eyeball to eyeball.
If you are a young blogger in this country and you put out negative news, fake news, biased news, news that has been bought and is not credible or fact checked, you are as bad as somebody doing galamsey. You are as bad as somebody digging galamsey in a reserved forest. So if you are on the street saying stop galamsey, you are also destroying the country. Even maybe worse than those digging galamsey pits are destroying the country. Take a minute to think about that.
Right, take a minute to think about that. Your final words.
So I mean, I support everything if we just said that regardless, we just need to be very responsible in everything we do. We need to be ethical and all of that. So I beg the bloggers, my colleague bloggers, it's just time we do things differently and just try to be more responsible with the way we go about things. We are trying to change the narrative. So please don't make the work hard. Make it very easy for all of us so we build a better community and environment for all of us. Yeah, I mean, including the younger ones coming up, so everybody is able to do it rightly. Yeah.
Wow, this has been such an episode. I mean, you get the reason why I told you this particular episode was everything else, right? So bloggers out there, we want you to help us. Obviously, we cannot tell you how to do your work, but I think we can guide you on how best to deliver, on how best to ensure that your content promotes development in society. And so thank you guys for coming or passing through.
Thank you, Manuel.
And I'm hoping to see you more often. So my name is Iman. No, I'm not Emmanuel on this podcast.
You're
They said I'm
Manuel.
Manuel. So okay. So I'm Manuel, and let me say thank you to everyone, to our audience. Keep sending in your comments. Hashtag MIO Knowledge Hub podcast on all streaming platforms, AfriPods, Apple, Spotify, and on YouTube at Penplusbytes. As always, thank you to DW Akademie and the German Corporation for your continued support. It's bye for now.